Finally, we are here at the end of Arc 3. Just 19 more episodes after this podcast. Oh my god, I can't believe it. We finally got to this point in time. Yep. Yes, things are coming up roses for us. You good?
Yeah.
Just going over your notes and whatnot. Yeah. Well, while Steve is going into his notes, I'm Mike. That's Steve. And we're here to discuss Kamen Rider, the original, episodes 75 through 79. Yes, we're finally finishing the third arc, and we're saying goodbye to Ambassador Hell. Yeah.
There isn't really much setup for a goodbye for commanders now, is it? It honestly could happen at any time. It feels like
yeah, like the last two episodes kind of felt like they were kind of going together towards something, but yeah.
Well, yeah, no, but I mean, like the fact that, I mean, at any point, like the colonel, the doctor, or ambassador could have like just exited at any point in time. It's not like, well, it was a shocker when the doctor actually did it, because we're like, oh, he just disappeared, he came back, and then finally that little weird montage of his about getting whipped around.
Yeah.
As for the ambassador, it's kind of like, I don't know, I didn't feel it.
Yeah.
I felt more as if his plans were getting more childish and outlandish.
Yeah, like he got Rita repulsed badly, like the impersonator.
Yeah, he got it to the point that it was like, all right, well, if he's gonna go, all right, he's gonna go. So that means this is it. Like, we've gone through almost everybody, and that all that leaves us is the Grand Leader.
Yeah. And General Black.
But how long will that last? Well, we got 20 episodes, so it could be.
We got 19 episodes left.
We got 20, so it could be an even each one, or they could pull just exactly what they did with X. That, oh yeah, the bad guy, the main guy that we've been like telling you about, like that is so wickedly important. That's him. Yeah. Right over there. He's that's him.
Yeah. Yeah, and the general breakdown of the last 19 episodes will be 6 episodes, then 4 episodes, then another 4 episodes, then another 4 episodes. Wait, did I get it right? Hold on. No, wait. 6, 5, 4, and 4. So, yeah, next week. No, wait, 2 weeks from now will be the last batch of 6 episodes, and everything will be like slightly easier. Yeah. It's like, again, we could be masochists and be like, oh yeah, let's totally do like 2 batches of 7 episodes and finish with 5. But no. We're not that masochistic. We're slightly masochistic, but not that masochistic. And one thing I do need to bring up is I did done goof with arranging these episodes, because I originally thought that the second movie was going to take place between episodes 79 and 80. Turns out No, they take place between episodes 68 and 90. No, sorry, 68 and 70. Wait, 69, my bad. Which means we actually have to go back next week. Which means we still have unresolved business with Emmy and Toko.
So next week is a movie review.
Next week will be the movie, yes, which I thought was going to be after this batch of episodes, but turns out it took place before the batch of episodes we did last week. Yeah, so for those of you who are watching this in playlist mode, where you watch it in chronological order, when we discuss the movie and we act like we know what happens in the next 10 episodes, is because we do. We accidentally did it out of order. And when you watch episodes 70 through 74 and act like, wait, why are you guys acting like you've never seen the movie? That's because we haven't watched it yet.
No.
We did this out of order. And believe me, we're going to have the exact same conversation when we do the last of these 3 movies, because it takes place someplace in the middle of Kamen Rider Ghost. Because when we finally do Kamen Rider Ghost, yes, that movie will be on both playlists in the exact place it needs to be. And we're not going to review the same movie twice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the main disclaimer. So, yeah. So next week, just be mindful that it's going to come off like we know things that we shouldn't. While 2 weeks ago, we sound like we don't know things that we should. Although, let's be honest, it's a summer movie. It barely has any impact on the story whatsoever. It's just hella confusing that, yeah, Emmy's still here during the time of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good grief. Okay. But yeah, anything else to say before we get started with this batch of episodes?
No.
Okay, let's run through this. Things are seemingly turning up roses because we're at a rose garden. That's the main thing you need to concern yourselves with. We're at a rose garden, and yeah, Taki gets attacked by a rose shocker monster.
Well, it's also kind of random that. So we established the the Mickey Mouse Club last time about like how the kids of Japan have created like the Boy Scouts of Japan, and now they're like a type of like kind of like social media or some type of like neighborhood watch now. The kids, the children, not the adults, not the police.
Mm-hmm.
And so we find out that that the kids of Japan are watching like for shocker activity.
Well, it kind of makes sense because in the first 73 episodes, who is typically the first person to notice shockers doing anything?
Well,
the kids.
That's the point I ask. It's like, so not the cops, not the government, not the FBI, not Interpol. It's the children of Japan.
Yeah. And anytime when they do try to report to the proper authorities, we get the same response.
Monster came out and grabbed my mommy.
Now you know, dear, there's no such thing as monsters.
Yeah, that clip right there could just sum up the entire inept of just the adults in the show, other than the motor club, because it's just like, all right, so you leave it up to the children now to take care of it.
Pretty much. I mean, like, outside of Tachibana Race Club, which I say loosely, no one is competent at shocker surveillance except for kids for some reason.
Kids with carrier pigeons. Not telephones, not radios, carrier pigeons.
Yeah, and one of those carrier pigeons that they sent a message to got shot down by one of the rose thorns.
But still managed to fly all the way to the motor club with the thorn to knock out old man Tachibana. Because because apparently that, like, I don't want that pigeon to let them know that what's going on. Ambassador Hell already made it clear that you guys literally made it so that they knew that you guys were doing something. That's why they were either luring out Taki or Hongo.
Mm-hmm.
You happen to get Taki. And again, stopping the carrier pigeon would do what exactly?
Just give us a hint of what's
happening. It would stop you from getting Hongo.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, Taki hasn't come back yet. I'm like, yeah, well, we're trying to speed up the process here. So, for some reason, who said that Kamen Rider is only for boys? There's been many, many of females who have led the charge against the Kamen Rider, and even young girls who have helped the Kamen Rider solve like the crime that Shocker supposedly does. Because this time we have a lady kaijin. Doesn't really speak a lot, but because it's a rose, I guess it had to have been a lady.
Yeah, which is ironic. Like, basically, you could say that Toshiki knew he was being very progressive because he made the Rose Orphanok a dude, the president, in fact.
Well, normally, see, that's the thing, is that mostly, you would see roses, and a lot of them would be like a feminine motif, which in a way it is. But also, when you see a guy with a rose motif, it normally is kind of like what they would say, like a very feminine looking man.
James, Team Rocket, blast off at the speed of light.
It's kind of those, like, look at any like property from Japan and look at if they have a rose motif. You will notice that they're more more flamboyant than anything. It's never like a tough guy that has a rose technique. Although very, very few. Very, very few.
Very few. Kabuto had one in the movie.
Yeah, we have a lady kaijin that is the rose. And I really, other than just knocking people out with the poison and the thorns, I really don't understand what the gimmick is for the rose kaijin.
Yeah, we don't even really know what the plan is for this episode. Like, yeah, you captured Taki, but
how many times have you guys done that?
And then inexplicably failed.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, you know what? It's kind of crazy that even though we've gone through so many commanders and whatnot, it seems that Ambassador Hell's plans are more self-sabotaging than the other ones.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Yep.
You're right. You're totally right that, obviously, Colonel like Zol and Shinigami and all that stuff. Yeah, but at least their kaijins had like a plot or something, whereas Ambassador Hell's kaijin are more of like
random inconvenience.
Yeah, I tell you to do something, but they don't do it. Or I created you to do something, but you don't actually do that. You're just... And I just stand there like, okay. All right. What is the... What are we doing, and how do we get to the end of it?
Yeah, part of me feels like Ambassador Hell should be like discreetly a traitor, secretly sabotaging Shocker from the inside while masquerading it as like being just like incompetent, like weaponized incompetence, I think it was called. But yeah, let's see how that plays out if that was actually a plan.
Yeah, because I really don't quite understand what's going on, especially in the fact that, okay, they have Taki, they have him in this like modern day mansion, and like mostly an Americanized mansion in Japan covered in roses, and Hongo just mysteriously knows where he's at.
Yeah. We could make jokes about how Taki like got affected by the rose a second time as soon as he woke up, but
yeah. But that,
that's just inconsequential comedy. Like that's
the first time it was like, okay, he faked it, but then he kind of forgot and just sniffed the flower anyway, and I'm like,
yeah. And then 3 of the Rider Scouts get infected.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, guys. Well, roses are not poisonous, nor are they. Well, they hurt. They suck. They hurt. Have you ever fallen into a rose bush before? It sucks.
Because every rose has its thorns, just like every day has its dawn.
People want to say that love is like a rose. I'm like, no, it's not. In today's modern society, love is more like a cactus field.
Yeah, like an explosive cactus that apparently can destroy the Mexican economy.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, let's see here.
Yeah, it's like, how does no one notice those roses piercing through those kids?
I mean, hell, I think at this point, well, no, there wasn't, but I know like later on in other Toko properties, whenever they use like flowers or roses, they always have them like constricting around the people, causing them to get hurt or some type of, in this case, it's like, it's kind of comedical how they go about with the flower motif,
Yeah.
You had many kaijins in the past that their motif was able to explode. You have all these roses and they don't explode, or they don't have some type of poison or gas or anything.
Honestly, I'm just relieved that this kaiji doesn't have a flamethrower in its mouth.
Well, I mean that would have been, I don't know. I think they were like, no, pull it back.
Yeah,
we're done with the
flamethrowers. Yeah. So naturally, Taki gets captured again, or so we think. No, the rose is just inside his pocket protector. Even Ambassador Hell's like, it's like, you idiot! He's not really stabbed by a rose. You let him inside.
That's the thing. I was like, okay, why did you believe him, Ambassador L? Why did you believe him?
Oh yeah, no, wait, you're right, because it was the great leader who that told Ambassador Hell. It's like,
the minute the Taki came into the door, he's like, hey, don't come in this house without taking your shoes off, you animal. What were you, raised by wolves? And Ambassador Hell was like, what? Yeah. Seriously, I'm like, you really think that Taki was gonna like give up the Hongo?
And again, it's like for Taki, sneaking into the Shocker base is just another Tuesday taco run. So why the masquerade?
It's at this point, it's like kind of embarrassing that well, it's not embarrassing. It's more like, well, put another notch on Taki's belt, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
That man has gotten in so many times. He deserves like an ice cream sundae or something. For how many times he's gone into that base, in those bases, without anyone stopping him.
Yeah, like you may as well create a new game, Metal Gear Solid Taki Edition.
There's no boxes, there's no nothing. It's just pretty much just walk right in.
Yeah, waltz right in. Like, you may as well put on like a fake mustache and be like, hey, Ambassador Hell, I'm your next door neighbor. You mind sparing a cup of sugar? Oh, well, of course. Wait a minute. I don't have any neighbors. Taki!
Yeah, I mean, seriously, no joke. It's a real Doofenshmirtz moment, you know?
Yes.
It's
a Platzazord? Pay the Platzazord.
It's a total Doofenshmirtz moment right there. It's just like, how do you not know this? But, I mean, also, I do notice that we do have less of Hongo in this episode.
Yeah.
We get
he
him
is physically there, but
we get
not as much.
Maybe for 5 minutes in the beginning of the episode, but the rest of the time it's just like little shots, and then a fully transformed Kamen Rider.
Yeah, you think that there might have been like a thing where like maybe like like as an like a precursor to OSHA, it's like, yeah, we're gonna have to give our actors more frequent breaks or shoot fewer scenes just to make sure that they don't get frequently injured.
Well, that's the question, especially with the next one. I mean, I always kind of, I mean, it's one thing that many people have pointed out in Tokusatsu, no matter what it is. You know, it isn't very often that you like go to, like you're saying to yourself, you know, I'm going to work today. It should be a chill, relaxing day. It should be fun, or should, you know, oh, we're going to be doing this today, so it should be no problem. There is a 0% chance that, like, you going into your job, whatever it may be, there is a 0% chance of you being thrown off a building, getting set on fire, or like electric sparks getting shot at you.
Oh,
And even a smaller possibility of you getting caught on fire or mortal injury, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Stunt people, stunt men and women, especially in Tokusatsu in the early days, such as Subaraya, you know, with Godzilla and Ultraman and all that stuff, they were literally getting set on fire. They were literally getting zapped by electricity. It's like, wait, why was the suit so heavily constructed? Why was it like made out of almost like industrial rubber? It's because they were literally getting launched with fireworks and napalm and electricity. So, yeah.
Yeah, you see what happened to Jackie Chan in that one movie when like, he's like sliding down that electrical tower?
What was that one movie? It wasn't Rush Hour, but Rush Hour was the second, where it's a younger Jackie, but he's on top of a glass building and he's sliding down the entire glass.
Oh, yeah, no, he busts his back in that one.
Yeah. I give props to the Asian stunt market, you know, because
no, but the one that I mentioned with that electrical tower thing, like inside a shopping mall, like he got second-degree burns with glass shards protruding through his body.
I do know that one.
Yeah.
I think him and a few of his stunt crew still have the scars from that, because he's like, you know, again, you know, with it's the level of respect, especially back when. Nowadays we have CGI. We don't necessarily need to do that, but that just robs the effect of, I guess, authenticity.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh wow, there really was an explosion. There really was an electrical shock, and it's like, yeah. And just by this much, they got out without like everything had to have been precisely done.
Absolutely.
And especially with Tokusatsu, like being the kaijin or the hero, it didn't matter what. How many actors and actresses or stunt people went in weighing like, I don't know, an average of maybe 150 to 200, and then after the show wrapped up, they had literally lost 20 to 30 pounds?
All too many to count.
Yeah. Like, seriously, like, the original suit actor for Godzilla was a heavy 40 man.
Mm-hmm.
But when he finished the original film, he like literally lost like half of himself in that thing. Same thing goes with the stunt people of Kamen Rider. All running around, especially in Japan. Have you ever been to Japan in the summer? It's an island. So hot, buggy humidity. It ain't.
Can't say I have, but I can guess that. Yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've been. It's like, again, as I said, we didn't pick the thug life, man. This shit, you had to have been hard to go through what these stunt people go through, and especially back in the 70s, there was no screwing up. If Jackie Chan had to roll down a building, he only had one shot.
Oh yeah, just like with the Boeing from the movie Speed.
Yeah, we have one shot to do it, and we best get it right.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, the next episode is
yeah. Oh yeah. No, we don't have to even like talk about like the fight sequence, like how like the Rose the Rose chick just kept swinging Takashi's arm against the tree.
It was Taki against the Rose, and then the Kamen Rider shows up for the last 2 minutes. They do a roll around, and then the Rose gets thrown into a tree, and then it just disintegrates, and then we cut to credits.
Yep. Just that. Just cut to credits.
I'm just like, okay. What even? What?
I'll say this. The next episode, I actually like the monster design because it looks like a cross between Guyver and Summon Skull.
Well, that's and again, I just feel like, you know what? Here we go again. It's another aquatic themed kaijin with electrical attacks.
Yeah, and one thing we did not mention in the previous episode, but yes, Chaco is still snacking. Gotta love Chaco.
Yeah, Chaco. Yeah, Chaco is still packing on the carbs, but still looks good. Although I'm kind of questioning why the girls are in like primary color outfits.
Matching outfits, yes, I noticed that.
Yeah, they're all wearing the same outfit, but one's red, blue, and yellow.
It's a precursor to Hurricaneger.
It's a precursor to the Sentais, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we have the next episode 79.
Yeah.
Three heads of generators, of generator monsters, sea dragons.
Yeah. So Chaco, while snacking, is going for a walk with two of the Rider Scouts when an old lady with a snack bar like offers sea monkeys.
Sea monkeys.
Yeah, they're actually seahorses, but we all know the old scam. Like you pour dehydrated sea monkeys into like a empty fish bowl, and then they grow into a colony of sea monkeys.
Yeah, brine shrimp.
Yeah,
straight up just brine shrimp. And for those who do not know, or if you do know, let us spread the word. While they are called sea monkeys,
they're not actually monkeys.
Brine shrimp are freshwater crustaceans.
Yep.
They are freshwater.
Artemia.
Not sea. So if you try to set your sea monkeys free, it's best to go to the local pond and just let them go there. Because the moment you throw them into the ocean, you might as well have just thrown them into a volcano.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I cannot tell you how many people I actually know that when they were kids actually told me that, and I'm like, you just committed mass genocide, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like throwing your goldfish into the ocean. You don't do that. There's fish belong in that's why you have certain animals in certain places. You don't.
Mhm.
They don't just. I mean, yeah. You're like, well, it's not like you'll ever find a shark in a pond, Steven. I'm like, oh, the chances of that happening are very low, but it is possible.
Mhm.
There are creatures, there are sea life that can go both from fresh to salt water. But
Yeah,
not
and just to be clear, while they are called brine shrimp, they're not actually shrimp.
nope.
Yeah, they're brachiopoda, which means a gill foot, while actual shrimp are malacostraca,
They're
which I'm
just
allergic to.
it's pretty much around like the same thing as plankton or
Mhm.
krill. While it is kind of under that same genus and family,
Not really.
it's technically not.
Not even close to the same genus or family.
It's like they could be categorized like, oh, they're just small.
They're arthropods, just not malacostraca. It's a completely different group, like how diplopods are different from chilopods, even though a lot of people assume that millipedes and centipedes are related.
No.
But yeah, no, they put their seahorses into their fish tanks, only for them to grow into giant Guyver summon skull hybrid kaijin. Oh, we have 3 of them. We actually have 3 of them for once.
What were they used actual seahorses?
And it's crazy. How many times have I said, this plan would have worked a lot better if you just had more of this kaijin? They more or less listened for once.
Yeah, especially since these kaijin actually mean business because one of them kills a dog.
Yeah, I'm still sharpening my pencil over that.
Yeah, legitimately. Like I guess it's a poodle, I guess, but
it's a black poodle. Yeah, that one really hurt me.
The damn thing just killed a dog.
Yeah,
and you had a chance to kill the boy, but you didn't.
Yeah, no. Like there was a comedic, like circular or like musical chair sequence. But yeah, no, they freaking killed a black poodle.
Oh hell no! 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 Oh hell no!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm so livid about that.
Yeah. The poodle was just doing its job.
Protecting the boy.
Yeah, even the other kids who bought this, I'm like, really? What exactly are the, if you're not trying to hurt the kids or do something, what exactly are you doing? Seahorse.
Apparently they want to make more seahorse monsters. At least that's what Ambassador Hell's plan is.
Yeah, you had ants. You had roses. You had so many animals based off of kaijins based off of animals that reproduce in large numbers, and never did anything with it. But seahorses.
They could have pulled an Ivan Ooze to just have a dubious salesman sell a whole pallet of these seahorse monsters.
Well, apparently we didn't even need that. It's just like, just put the seahorses in water. Didn't matter what kind of water, because again, when you look at how the kids are treating them, or putting one's in a bowl, one's in a sink, and the other one's in an actual tank, it didn't really matter. Not to mention, like, okay, so they bought like a container, which would typically be like, sea monkeys, a container, but we get an actual seahorse.
Yeah.
In said container, not powder, not dehydrated brine shrimp. It's an actual seahorse.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Hippocampinae. There's 20. There are 46 different species
Of seahorse.
Yes.
Yeah, no, there are multiple. There are different varieties, and not all of them do what people think, or stereotypically what people would assume seahorses do. That's probably like I think a very small, like a small population of the genus. Of the fact that look, let us break the myth right now.
They use a brood pouch.
They are fish.
Yeah.
They are fish, and fish do not reproduce like we humans do or like most animals. The female lays eggs like a bird, but instead of putting them in like some groove or some kind of place where like in a cave or something, the male has like a kangaroo pouch or a pocket that she kind of very, very interestingly puts the eggs in.
Yeah, it's like instead of putting the seeds into the female to fertilize the egg, you're transferring the egg to be fertilized by the seeds inside the brood pouch.
Yeah, and again, so many people have like they laughed, or they have, when I've explained it to them in layman's terms, and I'm like, well, if I were to tell you if it was actual people doing what seahorses do, yeah, that's pretty much what the whole cause would be.
Mm-hmm.
You would be putting a female's egg where you have your special sauce, and then just carry the egg until it finally decides to brew. So, yeah, that's what seahorses do.
So Kamen Rider like fights off one of the 3 seahorses on top of a building, where he discovers its weakness, being thrown off of a building.
You don't say.
Like, in actuality, he's like, the legs are his weak point, but he still just throws him off a building. So it's like, so I may as well just cut the middleman and say, oh, yes, being thrown off a building, my one weakness.
I'm like, yeah, well, it's a seahorse that also has electrical power. So the whole thing about like electric attacks going against water creatures is null at this point. We've had many water types using electrical attacks for some fucking reason.
There was even one with Dr. Shinigami involved.
Yeah. So, okay. Ambassador, why did we just stop with 3 seahorses? Why couldn't we have gotten more?
That's what I'm saying. Just Ivan ooze that thing. Show them to your parents, show them to your friends. If they protest, just throw it in their faces.
You could have taken just a crate of those things and thrown them into the ocean.
That too.
I mean, it's simply just add water. That's all. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, but even if the whole point was to get rid of the Kamen Rider cadets, it's like, just sell them to the individual cadets like they're freaking sea monkeys, like Ivan Ooze did in the movie, and then just kill them in their sleep.
Why didn't you just, like, well, again, what was stopping the seahorses from actually killing the kids?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Oh, a dog? That's it? Or comedical run around the table type shenanigans? It's like, well, okay.
Yeah. So the second one kidnaps Takashi. It's like, we'll replace his brain with an AI. I'm like, okay, you mean that thing you try to do in literally the first episode and failed? That
you guys couldn't finish on doing, or at least try to finish?
Yeah. And for anyone wondering, yes, no, AI is not new back then because Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep was published in 1968. Star Trek was published in 1966. Doctor Who in 1963.
The concept of robots having feelings or having some type of beyond of what they were was a very popular thing in media back then. It
Heck,
also,
if you wanted to be like, if you want to play devil's advocate, you could even say that Mary Shelley's Frankenstein was about AI, sort of.
well, I mean, the thing about AI, if we just boil it down to its main point, is why people get so like mad about it or upset about it. It's pretty much like, well, for one thing, media has poisoned us to think like, oh, okay, you know, if AI becomes super smart, it could take us out. Like, man,
Yeah.
pick your 80s like reference in any case or form, you know. But the fact of the matter is, it's pretty much like humans have reached a level where they themselves have created something. I
They
think
cannot control.
that we cannot control. I think what pretty much it sums up to, and is probably the better modern interpretation of this, even though, depending how you feel about it, it's the first beginning. It's the first like few minutes of the movie Alien Covenant, where we get the whole introduction to David, to his creator, and it's like, you know, we know that this is a robot, it's an android, we know that, and the creator's talking to it as if it like he is like, oh, I am God, I am this, I am like, I created you, I made you perfect, I mean, and it kind of also represents humanity in the fact that the machine looks at its creator and says, you're my creator, you made me in your image, yes, blah blah.
Well, your image is that of an asshole, so I'm going to be an asshole to you.
That's because the fact of the matter is that he says it to his face. You age. I don't. You will grow old. Your body functions will cease and you will die, but I will still remain as I am, completely intact. So how are you superior to me?
In
That's
what
a
the
very
people he
good
said
point.
matter.
That's
It is a good point.
It's a very good point. And what happens? His creator says, shut up and sweep the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he does it because he was told to do it. So he will do it. And it's like, it's very, very true. I mean, if you want to look at society and the whole, for not to get too philosophical, but it's kind of like, yeah, if there is such a great, you know, believe what you wish, and that's fine. But do you follow the rules? Do you accept what you are? Or do you keep going? It's the same thing here with Shocker and Hongo. The Kamen Rider apparently is like the most impressive, best thing they've ever made compared to the other kaijins.
Yeah, because no matter how much more sophisticated other kaijin are compared to Kamen Rider, because let's be honest, he doesn't have a flamethrower, he doesn't shoot volatile bubbles, he doesn't have like claws or other weapons, but somehow he's still overcoming all of them. This is like even though he's augmented with grasshopper powers, ironically, the thing that gives Takashi the advantage over all of these other shockers is humanity. Like, his superpower is being a human.
He has his own free will and thought. So, what you want to do now is trying to remove that. So it make it like instead of like an AI, yeah, the AI you're talking about is just being a walking, talking, just like all the other kaijins. It's just being a mindless machine.
Mhm.
Where in fact, yeah, shocker, you actually did create artificial intelligence. You created a being, a cyborg with free will. And now it's biting you in the ass.
Well, it's not AI because it's still Takashi's human brain. It's just they built the robotics around that brain. Like like to put it simply, like if we're using Kamen Riders 01 terms, Takashi is not a Humagear. He just has Zaya specs on him. Like it's actually kind of interesting because I remember Linkara once said it's like where once we used Rangers using technology against Reader Pulseless magic. Now the Zeo Rangers are using the magic of the Zeo Crystal to fight against the cold and cruel machinery of the Machine Empire. So too is 01 the opposite of so too is 01 the opposite of Ichigo because like Kamen Rider Ichigo is technically not a Hiden piece of hardware. He's closer to that of Zaya in terms of defining what he is, but he still fights in a way that Aruto Hiden would. Instead of the way that Gayamatsu would.
Yeah, but pretty much it's like it's the whole we created something and now it's defying us type of thing, which is well, it's the story of life pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The creator creates something
A human mind cannot be tamed. And if you can create an AI in the image of humanity, then what's to stop the AI from not being tamed just like a human would not be tamed?
Exactly. And then unleashing a horrible monster out in the universe that literally, depending on the continuity, is like a fast reproducing killing machine or something that lasts for almost an eternity and doesn't matter what you do to it, it'll still be alive.
Yeah, so quickly going into these two remaining seahorses, Takashi kills the second one by like drilling into it. So yeah, this is very volatile. And yes, boa juice starts spilling out. Flaming hot boa juice. Yeah.
Well, remember, they caught him and they had him on the table.
Yeah.
And they were about to drill into his head to like finish off but it's like, yeah, the drill stopped working. Why did the drill stop working?
Because the human unplugged it. And the third one dies the way you'd expect it would. Gets rider kicked, falls into a lake. There's a bit of combustion, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah, and everyone's like, hey, where did Takashi go? And of course, he's riding off to the sunset.
As always.
Yeah, I like to imagine that that's where that scene from VR Troopers came from. Like how every episode ends with Ryan Steele, like just chilling at the temple.
That random temple that apparently, well, from what I was told, is located in Westminster, California.
Yeah. Very hard to find.
I could be wrong, though. I'm not sure, but I'm like, yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is that even though this was a team show, VR Troopers was just two different shows mixed together from two different, same property, but from different shows. So it's like we had Metalder, which was his, and then you had
Spielbahn.
Spielbahn with the other two. It's like, yeah, the whole solitary hero thing, that was totally right.
Yeah, they had to conveniently separate Ryan from JB and Caitlin.
A lot. Like, if you go back and watch that show, you notice that unless it's American footage, there is no Japanese footage of the three being together on screen.
Oh yeah, and they had to compensate by having the virtual world costumes where they just used 3 repainted Red Ranger helmets.
I don't know why. Well, I mean, not like you guys couldn't have made or took in the mold and just kind of made it less obvious.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe mix it up a bit. Maybe use the Mastodon and Saber-tooth Tiger ones. I don't know. Not gonna lie though, like in that College Humor video about Zordon being racist, it is funny that the Black Ranger's helmet is the Red Ranger helmet painted black, while the Yellow Ranger's helmet is the Pink Ranger's helmet painted yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the whole solidary hero trope. Obviously, Hongo and Ichimonji did that first, and it just continued on with most. Not so much with Sentai and Power Rangers, but Metal Heroes, the Masked Rider, even technically Beetleborgs can go on to that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even though there was really no reason for that.
Yeah, so going into the 3rd episode, we have a kid who's part of the Kamen Rider Scouts, and like his childhood girlfriend is upset that he's spending a lot less time with her ever since he joined the Kamen Rider Cadets. I'm like, why don't you join the Cadets?
But I'm guessing she's not a fan of Kamen Rider, though. She might be a fan of Precure.
Was Precure even around in the 70s?
No. Precure was more like around like the time of like, when Sailor Moon was like hitting it big. So
yeah, I know that Magical Dory Me was a Precure season.
Maybe she was a fan of Heidi or Candy. I don't know. I mean that's the thing. Back in the day,
mm-hmm.
A lot of people want to say that anime or Japan has always no. I mean, yes and no. I mean, like they did have their own respectable shows, but there was nothing like today where the magical girl trope might have already been established, but not really.
Yeah.
It wouldn't seem massive like popularity until like the 80s. With such work as Sailor Moon, Precure. Hell, I mean, no. I think also Go Nagai was also creating Cutie Honey at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that right there is like, I guess, the precursor to the magical girl. Even though Cutie Honey is more,
it's more action.
It's more action and adult-ish than a magical girl.
Yeah.
But
the live action Cutie Honey had a certain actor with a certain facial expression.
Yeah.
You know that one.
I know. But so obviously, maybe she's just not a fan of Kamen Rider as is because that the Kamen Rider was seen more as a boys' show as it was in the 70s and in the 80s. Like, this is a boys' show, that's a girls' show. Like, I don't know. But I mean, well, why not join? So you can hang out with him and go on walks, because that's what he's doing. He's patrolling his neighborhood because the adults are incompetent fools.
Yep. Monster came out and grabbed my mommy.
Now dear, there's no such thing as monsters.
But yeah, so apparently, without warning, without even a setup, we are introduced to the Kaijin, which is apparently a newt.
Yes, Ned's Newt on Fox Kids, where when you feed him magic newt food, he becomes giant and can speak English and causes all kinds of shenanigans, like wrapping his tongue around people and then turning them into sand. I didn't know we had Orphanox at this point.
Yeah, for some reason, this newt just randomly attacks a family that's asleep. But it's the family of the little boy who they were talking to earlier, and he just killed the mom, kidnaps the dad, and it's like, why? I mean, I know evil plans be evil doing, obviously.
We are a secret club because of our agenda. It is a dark agenda. It is an agenda some other clubs may not agree with.
And that agenda is an airport.
An airport?
Yes, a Shocker airport. So that Shocker planes can load and unload and board and unboard and depart and arrive and be 15 minutes late because the Shocker TSA was sitting on their butts instead of confiscating cosplay Master Swords from Legend of Zelda.
And charging $400 for an extra carry-on. The Fiend!
Yes. Which is ironic because almost every time when Shocker uses like air flight, it's explicitly in order to bring a carry-on to Japan.
Again, it's kind of like, well, didn't they already have, like, yeah, it's crazy you have all these bases, but we don't have an international airport.
Yep.
Shocker could use an international airport.
Yes, and of course Taki goes to investigate, and two of the Kamen Rider kids have those disguises with the circular hats. You know the ones.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, yeah. So they get attacked by freaking Newt. What's his face? Kamen Rider intervenes. He gets strangled by the tongue of the Newt dude.
Yeah,
and then he gets captured.
What's with the wandering samurai motif for the kids in this?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of made no sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, look, they're foreshadowing Drive's Gaim form.
Mm-hmm.
Before Gaim and Drive were even a thing.
Yep.
But for some reason, because apparently we're somewhere in the southern part of Japan, not Kyoto, it's like, yeah, well, this is proper for us. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yeah, the little girl goes missing, so it's up to Hongo and Taki to go to rescue her. And, of course, the little boy from the beginning of the episode gets there first. But then they are met with the little girl's family, only to be immediately ambushed by Shocker grunts.
We're crucifying a child.
Yes.
Again. Like 100% again. I'm like, guys, can we just throw them off a cliff or something? Why must we crucify them and have 100 people take a shot and miss?
Yeah, and for some reason, Ambassador Hell just reveals the entire plan.
It's because they got him monologuing. That's why.
Yeah, you had me monologuing.
It's like you just had to get him started. You just had to fucking get him started.
Yeah, meanwhile, a mysterious man who's clearly not Taki shows up wearing one of those hoods and hats, and he's like single-handedly fighting off all the Shocker grunts, and it's like, who are you? And then he takes out another two of the chakra glands. It's like, no, seriously, who are you? This Taki-looking person. Who the hell could he possibly be? I cannot take that seriously. It's like you can easily tell that it's Taki. And he still can tell that it's
Yeah, no, this could be a facepalm moment, but it's possibly one of the highlights of this show.
because Taki is single-handedly taking out all of Shocker. And he's not even a cyborg. And even though like you can clearly see it's him, like you have like a very clear over the shoulder shot from Ambassador Hill's perspective, and you see like you get like when he like slashes sideways, you still see like part of Taki's face before he regroups back into position. And he's like, who the hell are you? So when he reveals that he's talking to Whoa, Nani? Taki? I would never have guessed it was you. You know, what's funny is that if you had one of those Power Ranger hood things that the Rangers wear when they put their helmets on, okay, maybe that would have made sense. But he's not wearing one of those. Like his hair, his face, his eyes, nose, the jaw, it's all exposed. It's like, oh, who are you? Who are you? Oh, man.
It's Taki. Who else would it be? It would have been more of a shocker if it was Mari. If she just came back for one episode.
That would have been great, though, because she actually has sword skills. She'd be like, do y'all miss me? Mari! Who? Oh yeah, Takashi, that's Mari. Like, she was here when Ichimonji-san took over. Oh, yeah. Okay, sounds pretty dope. Yeah, well, anyways, I gotta head out. I have a music career, and no cyborg Nazis can stop me. Bye.
Oh yeah. But yeah, now we go into the next episode.
Yeah, even like the new dude tries to ambush Takashi with a very telegraphed tongue attack, but yeah, no, he dies very quickly. Like his body just like pops out like piece by piece. It's like watching what's his name, the Black Knight. It's just a flesh wound.
Yeah, I'm like, man, whoever built this guy really, you know, is it so much that Ambassador Hell is just kind of slapping together whatever he's got and to make kaijin now because they don't make them like they used to.
Yup.
It used to take so much force and so much power to kill these things. Now it's a simple, I fall and I blow up or I'm falling apart. I'm like, I told you should have gotten the warranty.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. No, it's yeah. And yes, the two boys get on the motorcycles with Taki and Takashi. I'm like, oh look, finally the kids are actually riding on the motorcycles with them in the end credits.
Yep. And then
because they would have just left them there in that abandoned village while Takashi's like riding off alone. Like Takashi has defeated the Newt monster, but what other evil forces is Ambassador Hell prepared for him? Right up next time on Kamen Rider Z.
Yeah, no, we had to take these two kids, not Goro, back home. Yeah. But we get a preview for the next episode, which is episode 78, the dreadful Uchidogoma.
Which is basically a sea cucumber.
Sea cucumber, sea urchin.
Sea urchin. Either way, it's hold on.
It could
It's an-
it could wind up on your plate at a sushi place. Although I do not like sea urchin.
And it's an echinodermata, which means it has an armored skin.
Yeah, sea urchins are not fun, little bastards.
Very poisonous, in fact.
But apparently they say that they taste amazing, and I've tried it, and I'm just like, no,
No, thank you.
no, thank you.
Yeah.
I will eat sardines first, or anchovies before I eat a freaking sea urchin.
See, in defense of anchovies and sardines, anchovies can be used to make Caesar dressing, while sardines can be used to make Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, so don't knock it. It was always
And you know what's great about Worcestershire sauce? It's a great substitute for soy sauce for people with soy allergies.
Yep. It's always a thing that was back when we were kids, like just seeing people eating anchovies. I was like, ew, fish, ew. But then it's like, you know what? Just shut up and eat it. Although if you can't told me to
eat your goddamn salad before I stab you 12 times.
Are you telling me that this salad is a fish salad? Yes. Yeah. And it's damn tasty.
See, this is why when people eat insects, I don't tell them they eat insects until after they finished eating it.
Yeah, I mean, there was that whole freaking scandal that they were selling protein powders and cookies and things like that made out of grasshoppers, and like no one knew, but it was on the label. And then they're like, oh, but it's like, oh my god, this is so good. This is so. And then they finally read, and they're like, oh my god, we must boycott this. Why? I'm like, are you serious?
And yeah, like freaking maraschino cherries used to the reason they had that bright red coloring is because they used the guts of a cochineal beetle, which is like a natural red food dye. Like it's used in cherry soda. It's also used to make the uniforms of British guards and whatnot. But someone got upset, and now we have Red 40, and all of a sudden, Red 40 is cancerous, so we have to get rid of it.
Look,
you know, if only there was a natural dye that we could have used instead of Red 40. Oh, wait, but you're not going to use it because you're too intimidated by the freaking invertebrate came from.
It's the whole BS about like how they said that eating chicken eggs is like unsanitary or unhealthy, but then they found out that egg beaters or egg substitutes are far more worse off for you. And like any type of hell, they came out with a recent study that the whole Beyond Meat thing, which I just are we at the Ava? Are we at the timeline of Evangelion, where we are making factory or laboratory meats? Are we at that point now in our lives? Like, holy crap. They found out that stuff is 1,000 times worse than just eating a steak or a piece of chicken.
And again, I'd rather eat lettuce by itself, unseasoned, undressed, than eat Beyond garbage.
I'm like, are we as a society that soft? That like that, you know, I mean, fine. I respect it by all means. If you don't, then I respect it. But you want to say how you want to better your body and better like that, but you're eating synthetic food. You're eating, oh well, I can't eat soy. So tofu is not my thing, but I eat not tofu. What the hell is not tofu? And then you find out what it is, and it's like, so what is the problem with just eating a steak and you're eating God knows what that is?
Yeah, not tofu. Nufu.
Tofu
is made from soybeans of your planet. Nufu is made from me.
I'm
the Force!
I literally said, and not a lot of people understood the reference, but I was like, you know what? Soylent Green is right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
Soylent Green is a thing because there's actual food, there's actual berries and vegetables and stuff and meat here that you could eat, but you're choosing to eat some synthetic, like, not food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now all we need now is the giant well, they're not robots, the giant biomechanical meat suits and some freaking thing from the sky like an eyeball crashing down on us, and we're good.
Yeah. Anywho, so yeah, some kid will see some shocker mooks like float around in a graveyard. He opens the secret compartment in the cemetery, which reveals a giant floating urchin, which turns into a kaijin, turns people into mud. Yes.
That's that chocolate sauce.
Yeah, and yeah, so everyone in the village is dead except for this one kid. And then it just so happens that Tachibana and Yoko, oh wow, is Yoko actually going to get some screen time? Tachibana and Yoko go to the Tachibana family grave where they're intercepted by this kid, and I swear they're being spied on by Diva Talks.
Oh yeah, they had that one random telescope, that one periscope.
Yeah, it's like bam, 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 bam.
Coming out from the sand.
It's Riders.
Also, I'm like, Yoko, I know that you don't have to be related to go to the family grave, but why are you here, Yoko?
I guess it's because Choco already got a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
Granted, it's mostly snacking, but yeah. But yeah, so the kid says, everyone's dead except me. And they're like, kid, there's no such thing as... Oh, no, I got this.
Monster came out and grabbed my mommy.
Now you know, dear, there's no such thing as monsters.
Except it's Tachibana saying it.
Yeah, but apparently they think it's a lie because they go back to his house and his parents are actually alive.
Yeah. Oh, our little kiddo. He's such a rambunctious kiddo. He likes to lie about things. You know, it's after all, there's no such thing as monsters. So Tachibana like leaves, but he's like, you know, I'm a little suspicious. Let's go investigate just in case. So Tachibana comes back after the kid gets attacked by the sea urchin monster, who's disguised as his parents.
What exactly is the sea urchin's plan at this point?
They're really not very clear. I mean, it's more shocker real estate.
There's no reason why these kaijin are doing what they're doing other than just being assholes.
Yep.
Like, oh, we're just gonna kill random civilians and leave poor orphan children. I'm like, all right.
We are a secret club because of our agenda.
But yeah, to tell me that, hey, well, when you see a child in a graveyard, like just saying that everyone's dead, and it's, you know, I was like, Tachibana, how many times have we done this? But he does have
far too many.
He does have a look of concern on his face, though. When finally he's like, But if this is the kid's family, why is he acting so like, you know, being sensei and everything? He knows something's up. Obviously, yeah, let's leave. But yeah.
Takashi tries to like meet them halfway, but then he's attacked by an invisible opponent, the crab bat.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's actually a member of another organization that's not related to Shocker, known as Geldom.
Why?
Because apparently Shocker aren't the only ones involved in this.
So, which kind of made me question. So we are in the late 70s, early 80s, and we are introducing another faction.
Not even another faction, just another organization.
Yeah, we're introducing like, wait, so Shocker pretty much has like been the bad guys this whole time, but then there's like another evil faction that is like rivals to Shocker, and I'm like, we are just barely getting their introduction now.
You know, what's funny is that, you know, in a typical 50-episode season, 20 episodes is about 40% of the season. So you're thinking, oh, yeah, no, we got plenty of time to introduce this other evil organization and have them full frontal. I mean, that kind of happens a lot in the 80s seasons. But no, here it's like, this is a 100-episode season. So 20 episodes is not so much 40% as much as it's 20%. It's the equivalent of having only 10 episodes left. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
The remaining 19 episodes really do feel like there's only 10 episodes left.
That just kind of made me just stop and just scratch my head. I'm like, what are we doing? I mean, there's a time and a place for everything, but I feel as though if you were going to introduce another faction, this would have been like something early on, you know, like,
or like drop a lot of hints about it.
Yeah, instead it's like, no, we're going to do it towards the last quarter, because why not introduce another faction that is Shocker but isn't, but is actually like their competition.
Rival, yeah.
I'm just like, oh, mother, father, please.
Yeah. So Takashi and Taki are trying to use all kinds of like methods of trying to get in and out of this village. And they meet obstacles in every which way. And yes, the Periscope is keeping tabs on them, but you know what they're not keeping tabs on? Where's Takashi? Right behind you, mother!
Yeah, and again, the sea urchin monster has a flamethrower attack. For some reason.
Again.
For some reason.
Yeah, and we're back to the graveyard. I have to say this. One thing I do appreciate about the show is Fujioka at least has a lot of charisma. He does have a lot of charisma. Not a lot of screen time, but he has a lot of charisma.
But here's the thing, though. So, of course, obviously the battle between him and the urchin happened, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And it happens on a beach where, obviously, you do find a lot of urchins on the beach.
Yeah.
But a simple toss later, and that's it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the great leader's like, who the hell was that Kaijin? And of course, Ambassador was like, I don't know. I've never seen him before. What's going on? My leader, do you know what this is? What does it mean? It's like, I don't have to tell you. You should already know. I'm like, oh, geez. It's like watching Rita and Zed fight each other all over again.
Yeah, no, again, I mean, I kind of asked that question. So this thing shows up, and then it just disappears, but then it's like, yeah, that's not ours. It's not one of ours.
Yeah. But the little boy at the beginning of the episode does get promoted to becoming a member of the Rider Scouts. So
how is he not already? That's a question.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. We've already established how adults are and how competent kids can be.
Monster came out and grabbed my mommy.
Now you know, dear, there's no such thing as monsters.
Yep.
Yeah, so again, he becomes an honorary member, okay, and good for him. But
Yeah.
again, this random kaijin that showed up, will we? Is there anything that, like? My question is, so going forward, because I know this is like the last episode in our review, is there something like that we don't know that it's going to be hinted at in the next episode? Because now you introduce some random kaijin that's not part of Shocker, and yet you're telling us that, oh, in the preview it says that Shocker has a double agent.
Ooh.
So
Who could it possibly be?
There's someone in Shocker that is giving information to who exactly,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. So the next episode starts off with a man being attacked by a rattlesnake monster.
A random snake just peeks out of the water.
Yeah.
And-
but the Kamen Rider intercepts him almost immediately. It's like, Kamen Rider, how did you know? Because I was met with an informant. Dun dun dun.
You're telling me that there is a double agent in Shocker that has been feeding Takashi Hongo information.
Now, who could this possibly have been? And I'm like, oh, please tell me it's not Hux from the First Order. I knew it. No, you didn't. Shut up, Poe.
Yeah. So also, well, here's the thing. So we introduced the another kaijin from another organization, and we just don't even mention that in this episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Rattleland, the name of the rattlesnake monster, reported that there was a leak. It's like, doesn't
He's
like
he straight up threw Ambassador Hell under the bus.
yes, which is going to beg a lot of questions later on.
Yeah, especially when we find out what
Who Rattleland really is.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, okay, all right. And so, yes, the snake disappears. Now we cut to Shocker Base, obviously.
Yeah.
And apparently the good ambassador is getting jumped by the grunts. He's getting tied and strapped down and is being interrogated, and he's asking why, because the great leader has said, yeah, so we've gotten word that there is a rat in our organization.
There's a snake in our grass.
I, the great leader who know and sees all, apparently did not see this coming.
Mm-hmm.
But
maybe if you weren't just an audio speaker, maybe.
I'm like, okay, so why on earth? Okay, well, first off, why do you think it's Ambassador Hell, great leader? It's because the damn snake told me.
Yeah, it's like you and I were the only two people who knew about this mission. And it's like, but doesn't the snake dude also know? Like how do you know that the snake dude didn't just leak information about his own mission so he could deliberately fail it?
Yeah, no joke. Like what? But again, why on earth would the ambassador like be over his own plans? You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Although I mean, again, we're waiting for the twist here.
Yeah, we all know the twist is coming.
Yeah, no, the twist is coming.
It's like even if you've never seen the episode, you know it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically a carrier pigeon sent by Shocker. It's like, guys, you've made phone calls to the Tachibana Race Club before. You've sent them phone calls, emails, well, not emails, letters, telegraphs. You even sent out monsters themselves.
Hell,
why send a pigeon?
They've even done singing telegrams.
Yes.
But yeah, a pigeon, and it's not just any pigeon; it's the number one pigeon.
Because it's number one.
But I'm like, why on earth? It's like, yeah, so we're gonna like, and again, the pigeon has some kind of radio device tracker thingy that kind of gives a message that they're calling out the Kamen Rider, telling him to show up at some warehouse. And I'm like,
yeah, basically, it's like Ambassador Hell is being executed. You are requested to be audience to this execution, but we will promise not to lay a hand on you until such time the execution has been concluded. I'm like, one, why does he have to observe the execution?
Why?
Two, what's to stop them from attacking him before or after the execution? It's like, oh, Ambassador Hell is dead. Grab Takashi Hongo, because keep in mind they did blindfold him in order to like bring him to the execution site.
But they said that there's a schedule at the 8th warehouse in Harumi. So we know where it is. Why did you have to blindfold him? You told us the address and the number of the warehouse. That's like saying, yeah, we're going to go down the street to this store, but we got to blindfold you because we don't actually want you to know how to get there. I know that Google Maps was not a thing, but maps were a thing. Mm-hmm. So not like it's not hard that you wouldn't find it.
And it's not like you're trying to cross the red line, you know, like during, you know, like in Sabaody and Fishman Island.
Yeah. No, I know. But I'm just like, all right. So again, why must Hongo be present for the execution of Ambassador Hell? Just cause. Because we got a couple of grunts. We got some clans members here, and we thought it'd be nice to have the hero watch the downfall of one of his greatest adversaries. And I'm like, I don't know if I would say Ambassador Hell is like one of the greatest adversaries the Kamen Riders ever had, but
of course Takashi has to try to rescue him because if he's the mole, he might have more information.
But yeah, for some reason, yeah, instead of like firing squad or something, maybe a guillotine. With that giant shell dome that he's got on his head, you really think a guillotine is going to have enough force to cut through that?
Well, it could be a spectacle like when Theon Greyjoy killed that one dude in Winterfell. It's like he didn't have the physical strength to like cut his head off in one chop, so it just kept wailing at him. Not a fun way to be beheaded, but okay.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently Taki causes a distraction that throwing smoke bombs inside causes confusion and enough that Hongo actually saves Ambassador Hell.
Yeah, and then Ambassador Hell tells Taki, he's like, yes, it was definitely me who betrayed Shocker because they had a kaijin that I do not recognize, and therefore I felt the need to betray them. I'm like, That doesn't make much sense.
Ambassador Hell. I mean, for Christ's sake, we've had the Doctor, we've had the Colonel, we've had so many people create kaijins that you were not aware of, but you never thought that they were double crossing you. Instead, it's like now again, Crab Bat, which again, I'm like, you know, maybe this is where the Pokemon Gliscor came from.
Maybe.
Because again,
but whenever I see him, all I could imagine is a leprechaun.
A crab bat type creature. I'm like, okay. Well, I mean, it's no shocker that Kamen Rider is also an influence for Pokemon. But all right, so you're telling me this whole time that we've been battling you, you've been feeding information to Takashi Hongo.
Yeah.
About your plans and your kaijin of what, in fact, they're actually doing. So you've been sabotaging yourself for the past 20-ish odd episodes.
And no one caught on.
And no one's caught on. And then there's this kaijin that you are not aware of that, oh, I don't trust them now because they got some random kaijin that apparently doesn't belong to Shocker. Or it's claiming it doesn't belong to them. Now, even Tachibana Sensei is like, I call that crap.
Yep.
Questions and they take Ambassador Hell to the motor club.
There was nothing stopping him from showing up to the motor club on his own in the past. It's crazy that in the past, God knows how many episodes, this is the first time he's actually there.
I love how he's just like going around at the motor club, like just cussing out his former employer. And I'm like, if that's the case, if you say, you know, F this job, F this, and blah, blah, why are you still wearing the belt and uniform?
Yeah. You got the Iron Eagle and everything.
Yeah. Why don't you just take that stuff off now? I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm screw Shocker. I'm done. I'm gonna, I don't know, go the way of Cobra Commander and start selling used cars.
Hey, it's better than being Mesogog and working at a Wendy's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I learned the word facetious. Which, by the way, has all 5 vowels in the alphabetical order. Just said.
But again, it's like, yeah, so what now? What now, Ambassador?
Well, we got to fight Rattlelander, and was probably in a desert because he used up all his venom in the dam fiasco. So yeah, you two gotta go there and defeat him. I leave myself in your hands, Tachibana, but I don't want you to be left in my hands. What the hell?
Yeah, that
Ambassador Hell. Yes, and we have something that we would never imagine seeing. Choco giving snacks and tea to Ambassador Hell.
Well, I mean, well, you got to be hospitable, I guess.
Yeah.
You got to be at least hospitable, but again, Ambassador Hell, could you take off the damn uniform?
Yeah, and he has this sad look on his face like, I'm a victim of circumstance. Well, can you... I would be more inclined to believe you if you didn't have that giant snake helmet thing on.
Yeah, that thing that kind of looks like a cobra frill.
Yeah.
Not... Hell, even the girls are kind of like... You know,
hey,
like,
didn't... Colonel Zoll was a wolfman, right? None of what Yuri was the only one who in this room who remembers that. And Dr. Shinigami was Ika Devil. How do the two of you even know this? So wouldn't that mean that Ambassador Hell is also a kaijin? He's like,
again,
a cyborg?
Choco kind of like, makes it very aware. It's like, guys, I don't mean to be a buzzkill, but the pigeons look a little uneasy. It kind of like they sense something's wrong. And I'm like, thank you, Choco. Thank you for letting us know that the bad guy, who's been clearly a bad guy, is the bad guy.
Well, if she didn't, clearly everyone else did not notice, because if she had to be the one to tell everyone. Which again, Yuri, how are you not figuring this out? You've been here the longest.
Yeah, I know. Because, here's the thing, though, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, is that actually true? Ambassador Hell tells Taki and Hongo that they got to go to the desert to find the snake.
Mm-hmm. But somehow Ambassador Hell is already there.
The thing is that there's only possibly one big desert in all of Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And, it kind of solidifies, we're not in Tokyo. We're not anywhere near Tokyo. We're kind of like at the kind of like not the most southern part, but it's like the kind of like the Midwest for us of the Japanese region. This is where it's all taking place.
Yeah.
But why would a rattlesnake, but why on earth would a rattlesnake be in a desolate desert? Rattlers are more prone to being in mountain areas.
That is true. Speaking from experience.
Yeah, and I see those little rattlers all over the damn place around here. So
same here.
You mostly see sidewinders and stuff like that.
I've even seen baby rattlers, which, if for those of you who don't know, are much more dangerous than adult rattlers.
They're a lot more toxic than their adults because they're babies. They got to defend themselves, and
they have no self-control.
Nope. So if a little baby one gets you,
you're dead.
Yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Because the little rattler didn't just give you a nip; it literally blacked.
It gave its full dose.
Yeah. But yeah, we find out that Ambassador Hell is not a good guy. No. He is actually the damn snake, and like you said, is at the desert and already has Sensei and the girls up to their necks in sand.
Oh, hell no! 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 Oh, hell no!
Yep.
But okay, so the damn snake said that you were the one that was the traitor. So are you saying that... Is
that really necessary? It's like...
Are you telling us that the great leader did not know that you and the snake are the same person?
Or were you both in cahoots, but in a manner where it's like you had to fool the other shocker grunts, in which case, why are you doing that? It's like having Batman have a private meeting with Alfred inside the Batcave, and he's still doing the Batman voice. It's like, Alfred, we have to stop the Joker. I know there's no one else around here, but we need to come up with a plan.
But also, it's like, okay, so you admit that you're loyal to Shocker 100%. Okay, but what about the Crab Bat? Because we did see him outside of the Motor Club when they left.
Yeah, what's up with that?
So I'm like, oh wait, could it be that maybe Ambassador Hell has like some type of like, you know, maybe a kaijin that they weren't aware of? No, it's not even brought up.
Nope.
Because everything that goes on is like, yeah, no, now we're gonna kill Hongo and Taki because, well, we're just gonna kill Hongo and Taki. And I'm like, you're not worried at all about that random kaijin that showed up?
Don't
Not one.
worry about it.
No. Okay.
Yeah. So in his final words after being Rider kicked, Ambassador was like, "You may have defeated me, Kamen Rider, but Shocker is eternal." And then he just dies. Meanwhile, we hear the great leader's voice from out of nowhere. It's like, "Foolish Kamen Rider, you may have defeated Ambassador Hell, but you still need to face me. Just so you know, Shocker is hereby disbanded, which gives me the opportunity to create a new, more evil organization, which we'll discuss in 2 weeks."
Yeah, but let's not forget that the emblem blows up.
Yes, the laboratory also blows up.
Yeah, so you're telling me that it was true what Ambassador Hell said, that Shocker had created a kaijin that he was not aware of. So he was right to think like, oh, Shocker is like gonna betray us, but instead of doing something about it, he just decides to double down and say, no, I'm loyal to Shocker.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm pretty sure that the Crab Bat is going to be in the next couple of episodes. And this new organization that they're talking about is the same one that the Great Leader has been saying that he will create.
Yup.
So Shocker has now been disbanded.
Yup. Yep. And how has this all played out?
Mid!
I will say that it is a shock that the organization that we have been battling this whole time has just finally been kicked to the curb. Like no buts about it. It's like, no, Shocker, we're done. We're done. We're out. We're rebranding ourselves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah, because all of your commanders are dead. And I'm pretty sure even most of the clansmen that you guys brought over are now dead. So what options do you have? Like,
yeah.
Were you saving like the final like bosses? Like, you know, that whole thing, like it kind of felt like that old trope of like where someone dies and they just go on a monologue to like, you fool, you killed me, but you don't realize what you've done. I may die, but there are 4 others above me, and above them are their bosses, and then there's this part. I'm like, okay, come on, wrap it up here. What are we saying? Apparently,
He was a punk. He was just a punk.
He was just a punk, and apparently there are more people above him that are like, again, everyone we've been fighting has just been nothing compared to the ones that are coming up. I'm like, are you sure about
Just
that?
nothing but fodder.
Are you sure about that? Okay. So now there's no more doctors, no more colonels, no more ambassadors. Just now the Great Leader. I really think so.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Jerry.
No, it's not. It's just.
I know. But But again, so we go from, and again, the next episode in our preview, it says Gil Shocker's debut, the last day of the Kamen Rider.
Well, let's hope that Gil Shocker actually lives up to, the hype.
Well, I don't know. They have a leader that looks like the leader of a marching band. So I mean,
Some kind of Generalissimo.
Yeah, it could be. It could be something. It could be
Something. Somewhere.
somewhere. It could be.
We'll go boom. Maybe. Yeah.
But that's it.
I'm just going to say it. This batch of episodes.
What the hell is that?
And this whole arc.
Mid!
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the entire first season has been that way.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of just like, I mean, again, this was the beginning of a very long running series,
Mm-hmm.
But again, we had to start somewhere, and I mean, as always, no first outing is ever perfect.
Nope. Yeah. As far as the episodes go, I'd have to say it was 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. Like, it's nice to see the ambassador finally go down like the punk that he is. And yeah, it's like, hey, at least he tried being semi-clever this time around. But at least now we know he was a punk through and through. As a full arc, I'm going to be honest, I have to give it a 6 because nothing of value really happens other than Takashi coming back. Emmy was still as useless as ever. Toko just disappeared. Almost randomly. Shoko and Yoko were a little bit better, but still can't compete to Mari.
No one can. Obviously, no one can. That's Mari. So yeah. I will say, yeah, I absolutely agree with the scores that we are giving these episodes.
Yeah. Look, I'm just glad we're over and done with this. Well, almost over and done with this. We're one movie away. We're one movie away from just being completely done with the arc. And yeah, and then we have 19 more episodes to go, which again, feels like 10 episodes, but only because the season is twice as long. But hey, we had a little bit of fun with that whole Taki being completely incognito thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So let us see what you guys have to say about this batch of episodes. Finally, we see the end of Ambassador Dark. Now I think you meant Ambassador Hell. Now we just got to deal with his identical twin cousin in Z-Cross. Yeah, that's Ambassador Dark right there. Yeah, but we won't have to do Z-Cross for a minute, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are almost there. I'm cheering for you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow at Robo Toy Fest. Yes, we are both going to be at Robo Toy Fest tomorrow, along with Leo. All three of us are going to be there. We hope to see you guys there. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us. From Twitch, we got Nemesis Rider. Good riddance to the ambassador. We want Shinigami back. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I could either or can leave.
Yeah. Just 19 episodes and 2 movies to go. Yeah, that sounds like an ordeal, but when you consider how much we had to sit through this season, that's actually a cakewalk in comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Raphael says, rewatching a Go Ranger. Hey, good for you. Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger. I completely forgot that Geldem was even a thing. I think almost everyone did, honestly.
I mean, the fact that you have Shocker for at least 80 some odd episodes, and then once you hit the 80 mark, we're rebranding as Gil Shocker. I'm like, it's still Shocker.
Yeah, it's still Shocker, but it's like, yeah, a lot of people forget what the Gel stands for in Gel Shocker.
Or they just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, it's still Shocker.
That were teased from an earlier episode. Yeah, but yeah, that's it for the comments, guys. Yay, we're done here. Thank you all so much for watching this week's episode of the Raider Time Archive. Only 19 more episodes to go, but next week we're doing the second movie because apparently we're supposed to do that 2 weeks ago. But on the upside, at least we could say, hey, we finished the arc before Robo Toy Fest. So, silver lining. But if you enjoyed, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon so you notified for our latest videos and share our videos because it helps out with the algorithm. We only have 70 more subscribers left in order for us to reach 3,000 on YouTube. We thank you so much for the love and support. What? Only 70 more?
Really?
Yeah.
Weren't we at we needed more than that? We were in the 3 digits.
Like
you're saying, we only need
2 months ago, yeah.
Wow. So in less than 2 months, we literally have just whittled it down to we just need 70 more people.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
At least 30 new subs in 2 months. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we love you guys. No, for real though. Yeah, and funny enough, one of those new subscribers is none other than Sean Kanan from Karate Kid 3. Yeah, we have
we have celebrities watching our random shows.
Yeah, I mean, I remember one time we were reviewing Kamen Rider Geats and Ben's actor was actually commented on our video. One of the two bodyguards from that season was let me get onto that. I want to bask in it for a second because it is just so damn cool. Morphin Network Geats 14, I believe, was the episode. Yes, it was that episode. Yeah, look right over here. Hold on. Hold on. Where did it go? Hold on. It was right here. That's weird. But yeah, no, it's really cool that Ben and John were there watching our videos. That's really dope. Yeah.
Now all we just need is Fujioka Sensei to be watching us from afar.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. And yeah, no, it's really cool. And I remember Furuhara wanted to do a collab with those, but we have to go through their agency, so it is what it is. But yeah. If you want to watch more of our content, we got Ultraman Z on Mondays, Kamen Rider Gav on Wednesdays, number 1 Sentai Go Jujers on Thursdays, and finally Kamen Rider Classic on Sundays. Next week, we're doing the second Kamen Rider movie, Kamen Rider versus Ambassador Hell. So yes, unfortunately, we have to go back where Ambassador Hell was still alive, Emmy was still around, Toko was probably still around. Yeah, so there's that. And yeah, we're getting really close. Check out our Morphicon interviews. Check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we do various movie reviews and episode discussions. We have uploaded the first 8 episodes of Gundam G-Quox discussions on our shorts, and we reviewed the movie Sinners. And our interview with Sean Kanan from Pasadena Comic-Con is up there. It is a very spicy interview, so please do check it out. You're going to love it. We have a lot of we actually made 9 interviews from that convention, so definitely expect more content. And we're hopefully going to get a few more done tomorrow at Robo Toy Fest, so wish us the best of luck. Just a reminder that if you want to say hi to us, we will be at Robo Toy Fest. Jake's going to be at G-Fest in July in Chicago, Illinois. And additional conventions you should check out is Ranger Stop and Pop in Atlanta, Georgia next week. That one's going to feature the cast of Mystic Force, so I would totally be excited if I could actually go there. And just a reminder, if you attended the SoCal Gaming Expo or NostalgiaCon this weekend, be sure to bring your badge to the Burbank Marriott Hotel so you could get 50% off on your attendee pass for Robo Toy Fest. It's a fun deal because that way you get to attend 2 or even 3 conventions the same weekend. But we are excited to see you guys there tomorrow. We hope you guys have enjoyed the conventions today and yesterday. And yeah, if you want to check out our personal content, where can the people find you?
Just on IG as always, guys. Thank you so much.
And you can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. Thank you all. We love you guys. We're so thankful. And we hope to see you in person tomorrow. Hope to see you there. Peace.
I'll see you tomorrow.